Hi, and welcome to this episode in which we will be installing CentOS7 and creating our first script on the command line. So I've left some instructions that concern downloading the operating system and all the steps you would have to use. I'm using the minimal.iso file, and so I have downloaded that to the desktop here. And let me go back to VirtualBox, and now we will be creating our first virtual machine. So click on New, and then I'm going to call it Server, and then I'm going to be using Linux, and as you can see, I can install Red Hat 64-bit now because I have enabled my virtualization options in the BIOS, and I'm going to press Next. And so automatically VirtualBox will give me 1 GB of RAM for this virtual machine. And then automatically it will give me 8 GB of hard drive space for the virtual machine. And then it's going to automatically create a VirtualBox disk image, and that's fine. And dynamically allocated option will allow me to create the hard drive faster. And so all of this looks fine. I'm going to press create. And now server is here. And now I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to click on storage. And down here, the SATA controller down here will control your hard drives. That's my .vdi file. And so that is my virtual disk image file. And so controller IDE, this is your DVD-ROM drive. And so I have highlighted it, and now I'm going to click on this icon to the very far right, and then I'm going to choose a disk file, and now I'm going to click on desktop, and here's my .iso file. I'm just going to double click on it, and here it is in my virtual DVD-ROM drive. Okay, now I'm going to click on network. And we've been here before on the last episode. I'm just going to click on attach to NAT network, and it's going to auto fill in the NAT network because we only had one. Okay, and then I'm going to click on adapter 2. So this adapter 1 has been enabled, is attached to the NAT network, and the name of the NAT network is NAT network. Okay, now I'm going to click on the adapter 2 tab, and I'm going to click on enable network adapter. And now I'm going to attach it to the host-only adapter. And so, as before, we only have one VirtualBox host-only Ethernet adapter. And if we wanted the MAC address, we could click Advanced. I see. All right, so I'm just going to click on OK. Then I'm going to scroll down my instructional materials. And then with this highlighted, I'm going to click on Start. And then here's my .iso file. I'm going to click on Start, and then very quickly I'm going to click on View. Then I'm going to move down to Virtual Screen 1, and then I'm going to scale to 300. That should be fine. Now, this will automatically install the operating system after 1 minute, but I just wanted to demonstrate something for you. As you can see, I have the cursor for the mouse for the host computer, but as soon as I click in this virtual machine window, that mouse disappears, and now it has been captured by the virtual machine. And I'll show you that a little bit more, but now I can use the keyboard for my virtual machine. I'm just going to press Tab, and that shows the path. You don't need to do this. You could just wait a minute. And I'm just going to press Enter. So just remember, click inside this window, press Tab, and then press Enter. Now, if I want my mouse back, I press the right-hand Control key. And see, I have my mouse back from my host computer. But as soon as I click inside this virtual machine window, I will lose my mouse. So this takes practice. So I'll just wait for this to end. When we click on the VM window, the mouse cursor for the host computer will disappear and the mouse cursor for the VM will appear. So that's just something to remember. Now, see this? Well, you probably can't. It looks like a gnat. It's so small. But that is the mouse cursor for the virtual machine. I'm going to press the right-hand control key, and now I have the mouse back for my host computer. Okay, so I'm just going to make this full screen, and then I'm going to press, okay. Now I'm going to use English and United States English, and I'll wait for it to populate. I'm going to click date and time. I'm going to click down in this time zone because I want the America's Chicago time zone, and the time and the date looks fine. Okay, now I'm just going to scroll down, and then I'm going to click on installation destination, and as you can see, this is our 8 GB VDI file, so that is their storage. That looks fine. I'm going to press done, and I'm going to click on network and hostname, and I'm going to enable EMP0S3 because that is the adapter that is attached to the NAT network. And EMP0S8 is attached to the host-only adapter. And basically, EMP0S3 is the network adapter, and then EMP0S8 is the host-only adapter. But I'll explain that more in future videos. Now, I'm going to set the host name to server.example.com. I'm going to apply that, and then I'm going to click done. And then I'm going to begin the installation. I'm going to click on user creation. I'm going to create a user named Tux, and then I'm going to click on make this user administrator. This will add Tux to the wheel group, which my joke for it is that I've made Tux the assistant manager, while the manager is the root user. So Tux will be able to run commands as the root user if the Tux uses a command called sudo, but I will show you that in a future. See, I used a very simple password, so I have to press done twice. I'm using very simple passwords because this is a lab machine. Okay, now while we wait for that to install, let me go back to the instructional materials. And the reason why we are not enabling EMP0S8 is because we will be enabling that later when we assign it an IP address. So now we're just waiting for it to prompt me to reboot. And I wish I had some elevator music for you. But while that is installing, let me just show you what we will install. That's why I used a minimal image, because I can just install software later using the Yellow Dog Update Manager. Now, the Yellow Dog Update Manager is what's called a package manager. It manages your software on your Linux machine. But also, so is Red Hat Package Manager. Red Hat Package Manager also, but Yum is a lot, they call it Yum. Yum is a lot easier to use and has a lot more features. So I'm using the -Y option to specify that Yum should say yes every time it installs a package, because there are three options. There's yes, there's no, and there is download. So you could download the package without installing it, and that's a really good option. And so that's why I use -y if I just wanted to install without any intervention from me. So I've used the RPM command and the query option and then the info option to show information about already installed packages. So I have here, let me just scroll down. I'm going to allow you to read this. I've installed the Red Hat LSB core. I've installed NetTools. I've installed EPEL release. I've installed kernel headers, and let me move on. The kernel devil, and or the development kernel actually, and I've used the development group to download development tools that the Yum group provides as a basic development environment. So the development Yum group and the kernel headers and the kernel devil you'll find are for installing software from source code, and that's something we are going to do very soon. And finally, the X Window system in the Mate desktop will provide the graphical user environment, and that's very interesting. So anyway, without further ado, let this restart. Okay. And I'm just going to use the default kernel. And we'll play around with kernels a lot in chapter 2. I press the escape key. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to log in as root. And the root user is the manager. That is the user that has all of the privileges on the system. And we're going to press the password. All right. Now I'm going to, let me just line myself up here. I'm going to press VI is my text editor. I'm going to call this install. And then I'm going to give it a suffix of .sh to indicate that this is a shell script. So I am in command mode. So I need to press I to insert text. I'm going to press I, and I'm in insert mode now. And I'm going to put in what is called the shebang. And that tells the system which program I'm going to use to run this script. It designates it as a script. And so I'm going to use bin and then shell. I could put bash, but automatically it's going to use bash anyway. So that's not necessary. And I'm going to put yum y install Red Hat LSB core net tools EPEL release. So for this last one, I'm going to be using group install rather than install. I'm going to press the escape key to go back to command mode. Now I'm going to press YY and then P to copy and then paste this line because I need 2 of these statements. Okay. Development tools. All right. And I'm going to add in bash completion. And these will act as a kind of an autocomplete. I'll show you how bash completion works. It's very, very fascinating. And so that is our script. And so these commands will be executed one at a time. And so if I did not use this, I would have to enter in the first command and then wait till that command finished and then enter in the next command and then wait till that command finished, and so on until the installation was done. And I'm going to press Shift, and I'm going to just use capital Z to exit out of this. As you can see, I'm back on my shell, on my command line. I'm going to go back into this. I'm going to press the up arrow key to replay my last command, and then I'm going to go back into my file. And I just wanted to let you know to exit without saving, you would press capital Z, capital Q. Or if you wanted to save and exit, you press capital Z, capital Z. And then you press, you either use the clear command to clear the screen, or you could press Control L to clear the screen. All right, so now I'm going to show you the beauty of the script. I'm going to press the dot, and I'm going to press the / and then I'm going to use the, wait, I know I'm missing a step. I am missing a step. Okay, I'm going to use the chmod command to, and I'm going to use the plus and then the X and then the name of the file, and that is, let me demonstrate actually. I'm going to press the ls command to list my files. Okay, so I'm going to press ls.l to perform a long listing. So now we get to see on the very, let me get my mouse back. As you can see over here, the permission blocks are here. And as you can see, install.sh has, for the user, has read and then write, but not execute. So this is not an executable script. So I need to change it. I need to change the permission mode so that it is executable. So I'm going to change mode. That's that chmod command here. And I'm going to press +X, and that's going to add executable. And then I'm going to use the file name. Now let's do a long listing again. And as you can see, the +X actually changes it, and it gives the executable permission to the user, and then to this block for the group, and then for this block for others. So it depends on what you feel is a good idea for your system. But I'm going to run this command now. As you can see, it's green, so it is executable. Press dot / and then the name of the script. If I could spell it right, that would be great. And now it is going to run this script. And now I can just have a cup of coffee. I can go and mow the lawn or something. It's, I mean, it'll run automatically all of those yum commands. So I think I'm going to find you on the next episode, because this is going to take a while to install. But in the next episode, we will be setting up static IP addresses. So I'm excited about that. So I'll see you on the next episode, and have a good day.